All right, ready?
We are.
We are ready. You ready to hype our own show up?
Ready as it.
Gotta get our own hype on. All right, self-promotion. This is Paisley Nights. I am Mark Bonde. We'll try that again.
I thought usually throw it to me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. All right, here we go again. No, it's always better the second time. I just need like a run through to get my vocal cords warmed up. Gotta get my vocal cords on point. Alright. This is Paisley Nights. I am Mark Bonde here with my co-host
DJ Dudley D.
And we are chronicling the days of wild. We're telling stories from Paisley Park. We are talking about what Prince used to do and open up the doors of Paisley to fans like us and all of the experiences that happened. We're dropping interviews. We're talking about our stories. We're putting it on wax to share with the people.
Documenting it all. So if you're into Prince, right, if you like Prince, we're hoping this podcast is for you because we're telling about Prince kind of through a different lens and one that's not often heard, right? A lot of the fans that we're going to be interviewing, talking to, I mean, these are people that like saw this dude hundreds of times. Yeah.
Paisley Park was bumping for years and years and years, and he'd have these parties and he would have these performances, and it was pretty much awesome.
Yeah, and if you didn't know about it, sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. But if you're into Prince, and maybe even if you're not, dude, if you're just into like people's stories and the narratives around how people develop, right? What's interesting about these stories is these are stories from the people's perspective of stuff that's going on over decades of time.
Right.
And you see transformation, you see kind of worldview shift, you see just Prince informing people's lives and like getting into the nitty gritty of who they are and influencing them in super positive ways. So the last interview we did was Sarah Sauser. It was fantastic. Sarah was bringing it.
Almost brought Prince off the front of the stage.
Yeah, almost brought Prince off the front of the stage. I mean, what a crazy story. Like first intro to Prince, and he's giving her the little point and pull finger deal with that index finger. I'm doing it right now. And bringing him down off the stage. How funny is that?
That's amazing.
Was that your favorite story out of that deal, or what was your favorite story from Sarah?
I mean, I think so. That was just like, it's just crazy how she was into Prince and then, ended up being in this dance company that got called out multiple times. I mean,
yeah.
Where are these? I mean, we know where these videos are. They're in California somewhere now, moved out of the vault, but when will we see them? Yeah,
I wonder how many videos there are. There just has to be hundreds, right?
Thousands, I'm
You think
sure.
It's thousands? I fully produced videos, thousands?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard rumors that, I mean, not every song, but there's tons of videos that were shot for all the songs, and that, we saw the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, I wonder how many of those got saved. You think they all got saved in the vault there?
I'm sure.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it would be a treasure trove.
Yeah.
I hope this stuff gets released to the streets. I feel like the state is moving like at like snail's pace.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy documenting and taking all that stuff from. Yeah. Well, I guess more so the music needs to be digitized and documented and cataloged and whatnot. What a job that would be.
Dude, that'd be fun. I'm sure they got the reasons for the pace at which they are moving, but and then I think there's a question like for like the freaks on this side, what we want versus what's kind of mass consumption and what they can sell from a commercial standpoint. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of tale of two cities, right? They're trying to appeal to different groups.
Right. Well, and they got to give people time to save up their money.
Yeah, I mean, but they so worried about that money that, I mean, they out there putting cease and desist letters out there. I'm like, dude, just get your stuff out to the street. People will buy. If it gets released, people will buy it. They'll buy the collector's edition. They'll buy the 7-inch. They'll buy the this. They'll buy the that. We some fools.
Just like the originals.
I mean, there's multiple different versions of that.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
vinyl, and I think in Japan there's one that has a whole nother song on it. So it's like if you're a collector, like they're getting after you. You got 4 different versions, I think, of that you need to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, and people will buy that stuff, right? They want the music. Yep. You know, I think for me, I thought Sarah's story was interesting because it kind of it goes along with our time frame. You know, I think she's out there at a similar season. I thought it was interesting. You know, she's sitting out at the couch at Paisley, getting ready to get introduced to Prince, and like, you know, she pump fakes him. She's like, all right, we getting up to leave. There's no way she's leaving, right? Like, oh, I'm walking slow to my car. You know what I mean? But I can just imagine that dude just like making people wait. You think he's like on purpose making them wait, or you think he's just working and he's not even thinking about them?
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I sometimes. I mean, my theory has always been like the dude's just doing something, and he just don't care, right? He's just like, hey, I'm just doing this until I'm done doing this, and then I'm gonna do that.
If he's in the studio in a moment, you know, he's focused on the moment. He probably forgot that somebody was out front until somebody reminded him. Like,
and then he's like, oh, I better go deal with that,
that's right? I invited those girls out here.
And I want to get some feedback, right? Because he's always getting the feedback, right? He wants to bring the new cut, bring the new jam. He used to do that with you all the time, right? But let's check out how these people respond to this music.
Yep, for sure. And make sure you give them that CD back.
Really? What happens if you don't give them the CD back,
You don't have a job.
You don't have a job, really? I mean, I'm sure that's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was cool because she was rolling the same era that we are, you know, because we are out there, May of 95, listen to episode 1. We kind of get into it again in episode 5, obviously with the interviews with Bill and Dion. We talk about it as well. So I mean, this is a fun time to be part of the Paisley Park scene, because at this stage of the game, I mean, Prince ain't the coolest brother on the block,
right? And you know, I don't think we've heard your story. Let's talk about the first time we talked about obviously the first time we went to Paisley Park, but the first time that you saw Prince perform live.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, I do remember, because it's an interesting deal. So y'all went out the weekend before because I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and I made a grave error in not going out when he played as Tora Tora out on stage. So you guys see him, you guys being you, Keith, and we'll get Keith on for an interview. I think Matt Birdie was with you, dude we went to high school with. Yeah,
it's all a blur.
I mean, and y'all went out there, and he played as Tora Tora, and it was awesomely good. And you're like, I didn't even.
So you heard?
So I heard, and you're like, I didn't even know it was Prince first, just because he had this mask on, right? Some fool in a red mask, towing a one-eyed bass. But I mean,
that's what happened.
I'm so disappointed because I never saw anything similar with him playing Tora Tora. Anyway, so I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and I didn't go, and y'all went out and had a great time, and dude, I've been talking about the guy all summer long. I'm listening to is Prince. I'm buying vinyl, dude. I ain't even got a record player. I'm buying vinyl, checking this stuff out. I mean, I'm just totally in the zone, right? I'm at the Uptown store, the NPG store every week. We talk about that in episode 6. No, episode 5. We talk about me going out to the NPG store, dude. It was awesome, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden I get a chance to see him, and I'm just incapacitated because my wisdom teeth are out. So what was happening though is interesting because he starts opening up Paisley during the week, and it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday night. So the first time I see Prince live, we went out there and we're driving out to Paisley Park, and I'm just like, we got to get there because some stuff's gonna be happening, right?
Is this when we got lost?
Yeah, we got lost, and I'm just like. And they're like, no, we got to turn here, right? There's no Google Maps. There's no punching it on your phone, you know? And we're out on 101, I think. And you guys are like, no, it's right here. And like, you guys had no idea what was happening. And I was getting so mad. I was so mad. And I'm like, I slammed
We're flying.
Flying, dude. Just
we got to get there.
If my mom's listening, we were traveling the speed limit. And we're flying. We're flying, dude. Do you remember when I slammed on the brakes?
Yes.
It was like, boom. You guys are
something out of the trunk was just like, boom. And then Mark was like, that's my TV.
So anyway, we finally get to Paisley Park. It's Tuesday, dude. There's nobody there, right? It's just empty.
I remember it being a Tuesday.
Yeah, it was like it was a Thursday, but it was during the week. It was during the week.
So this was the same
week. Yeah, same week. But now they're opening up Paisley kind of during the week, kind of like this club deal, but nobody showed up because I don't know, it was not really well promoted. They had some stuff in the city pages and what have you. Anyway, they have a performance and there's this band called the TC Jammers, right?
Yeah.
And the TC Jammers used to play at Bunkers, and they had, Kevin Jackson. Shout out to Kevin Jackson. He was one of the lead singers, and there were some other players from the Minneapolis scene, and they just kind of jammed. They did covers and whatever, but they were just like this high energy deal. And Paul Peterson was playing in the band at the time, right? So Paul Peterson was the lead. Paul Peterson, St. Paul. Shout out to St. Paul from the Family and LP Music now.
Yep.
Paul's doing his thing still in Minneapolis. Nothing Compares to You. It was the original track on the Family, the big one that blew up. Sinead O'Connor covered it, all that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all freaks. Anyway, so he's playing lead, and like, dude, there's maybe like 30, 40 people.
Right. And this is in the
big sound stage, right? And it's set up like the Gold video or Rock and Roll's Alive video, if people have seen that, right? That's how the whole stage is set up. And like we like just kind of hanging out and the band's playing, and essentially they plug in Prince in the back. Do you remember this?
I don't remember anything.
Yeah, so
this is what this podcast is exposing, is how much I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember it all.
it's
So
good.
So anyway, so they're Prince is in the back with the guitar, and he's plugged into the band,
right.
And I was just like, trying to figure it out, because I saw him come in the room,
yeah,
and then like all of a sudden he's carrying a guitar, and then he's playing, but he never gets on stage, and he's just kind of chilling in the back of the room,
but playing along with
the band, kind of getting the rhythm guitar piece down.
Yeah.
And I wasn't cool enough to really understand what was, like, my musical ear wasn't there to really understand the riffs that he's playing, but like the dude's playing with the TC Jammers on a random night with however many people. So that was the first time I saw Prince play an instrument live, not on a stage, in the back of the room, playing, rhythm guitar for the TC Jammers.
So that was it?
No, that was it, dude. He played like on for like a song or something. And
I thought you were going to say he came out later with the band.
No, he never came out, man. It was just like he played, and like it was like, oh, that was kind of cool. I'm just here and Prince is just playing. And I'm pumped up because I hadn't seen Prince since our first night out there back in May. So it was just like cool to be in the room with him. It's cool to be at Paisley Park. It's cool to see the sound stage. It's cool to see a band playing out there. Like, I'm pumped up on like every single level, right? And you guys are just like, psh, yeah, man, we saw him play live last week. Last week was so much better, and I was like, hey, this was awesome, right? And then what happened is the next Saturday, like it was whatever night, and then Saturday night it was another party, because he was playing that summer pretty much every Saturday night, $20. They were announcing it on the radio, and that was the first time that I saw him. We got out there relatively early. I was stage left, and that dude came out and he played maybe a 60-minute set, and dude just blew my mind away, right? And none of the songs I knew. It was all stuff that was like newer stuff, and it was just like, what the hell am I experiencing, right? I don't really remember the set list or the details, but I do remember thinking, man, we got to get out here some more, and that's pretty much what we did, right?
And that was like Michael Bland, Tommy Barbarella,
Tommy B,
Sonny Thompson,
Sonny T, Mr. Hayes,
Maite, and Maite.
Yeah, and they were just jamming, right? And that was a cool band. They were tight. They had like Tommy had the American flag, and Sonny was always sitting down, and dude Morris was doing his thing. Yeah. It was fantastic. And Prince would come out, and new wardrobe every week, right?
Right.
He had there was a conveyor belt.
Yes,
in the
so
middle.
Cool.
There was a conveyor belt in the middle, and he could control it with his feet and like move it, and he would get on the conveyor belt and kind of roll down there. And he had Slave on his face, right?
Yep.
And he would get into like these preachy moments and like tell these stories. There was one night, he was like one of the more memorable nights is he was going to be asked to play at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for some deal that they had going on.
It was the induction of the new Cleveland.
Yeah. So he was gonna play, and he ended up up not playing, and instead he was playing at Paisley Park in Minneapolis to this group of people, and he's on this speech about, you know, freedom and music, and, you know, he's on that whole rant back in the day, right? And it was just a cool storyline, right? And then he gets into this deal on, I'm thinking it's the same night, but maybe not. He's like, hey, talking about Lenny Kravitz, and Lenny Kravitz had just released an album, Rock and Roll is Dead, which I really got into later. I really like that album, by the way. That Rock and Roll is Dead album. That's a good album. Anyway, he gets into that, and he's like, hey, all respect to Lenny Kravitz, but rock and roll is alive, and it lives in Minneapolis, right?
Boom.
And then, like, it's not the song. It's not the Rock and Roll is alive and live in Minneapolis song. It's just the hook, right?
Yep.
And then he's like, hey, y'all sing it with me. And we're at this stage of the game, like, we're getting there early. We're towards the front. You know, the microphone's coming close to our face. And, like, we're the chorus, right? Rock and Roll is alive and it lives in Minneapolis.
Or the choir.
Yeah, the choir is just happening. And, you know, he's singing that. He's leading that. We're singing that. And it was just like, oh, that was really, really cool, right? And, like, I kind of, like, left and, like, that was that. And, you know.
Didn't think anything about it.
No. And then, like, 3 weeks later, KDWB's like, hey, we got the new jam from KDWB's the 101.3 in Minneapolis, still in the air.
Yep.
We got the new jam from Prince, or it wasn't even Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince.
And that was Tony Fly.
Yep. And it's Rock and Roll's Alive. And then it's like, you're like, oh my God, that's the hook that we just sang, you know? It's really fascinating too, because when we were out there a bunch, you know, we had one night we were out there and we were just hanging out. This was like during the week, and seriously, there weren't many people. You could watch videos in the one room, like Sonny Thompson was in the room sitting with us watching the Undertaker video.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we were on one that night. And I was like, I think he's in the band. Anyway. You know, I'm just learning what's going on out here. And, you know, we're watching that video, and, you know, it was a night that Steve Vai was playing down at, I think he was at the State Theater.
Sounds right.
Yeah, so Steve Vai, big guitarist, etc. And he was down there, and essentially Steve Vai was at Paisley Park just like waiting to jam with Prince.
Yep.
And this place is dead. Seriously, it's like Wednesday, Thursday night, and Steve Vai is just sitting in a chair. I say, what's up to him? I didn't know who Steve Vai was. But like you could tell he was like,
he was somebody.
Yeah, he was a rock star.
Right.
And they end up kicking us out. I tried to stay, but turns out the whole band showed up, and Prince and the NPG and Steve Vai just cut loose for however long, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be one of those cool ones talking about the vault sum.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine just like, and nobody's in Paisley, right? They just got the stage set up like it was, and it's like those people just jamming, right? And then, so one time, I'm just kind of on a rant right now, but we're going to roll with it. One time I was reading like on one of like the, you know, Prince pages like we do, and somebody was talking about how the Rock and Roll is Alive, you know, has like a Steve Vai sound to it.
Right.
I don't even know what that means, but I always thought it was fascinating because, you know, I'm thinking to myself like the genesis of Rock and Roll is Alive and it lives in Minneapolis is from this jam session with Steve Vai, Prince, and the NPG. And Prince is simultaneously listening to the new Lenny Kravitz album, thinking about the music business and where rock and roll is, and he's jamming in Minneapolis at Chanhassen with Steve Vai, and he's like, dude, Lenny, rock and roll ain't dead.
Not at all.
Rock and roll ain't dead because we doing our thing out here at Paisley Park. We're just killing it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they were doing, right? Like, I mean, can you imagine that? Just like you're Prince and you're just like, we're going to do this thing. Steve Vai comes up and just rips it.
Well, and that too also was just like the height of him just being anti-record label.
Yeah.
And then just like saying like, okay, Lenny, you came out with this whole album. Like, I got a rebuttal for you. It's kind of like the rap beat.
Yeah. It's like a little battle going on, right?
But Prince is like, I'm just going to put this song out because I can. Because
I'm Prince, and I'm just going to roll with it, right? And he's getting ready to release the Gold Experience. It comes out as the B-side of the Gold album, right?
Yep.
And this is all happening to us. Like, this is our first, like, 7-8 months in Prince, right? We're just into this, and we're going out there. They're recording these videos. We recorded the Rock and Roll's Alive video. I wasn't at that shoot, but I was at the Gold video shoot.
Yep.
And like this, like things are just going on, man.
Happening constantly.
And it was just so much stuff. It was just like a whole universe of the world, right? And then the Gold Experience comes out that year too, and it's just like next level, right? Like all these songs that I've been hearing him play.
You finally got your hands on it, and you can listen to it at home.
Yeah, dude, and I just threw that thing in, and people were like, P Control, right, which was the jam, right? And it was like my jam because that was like the song I had heard when we went in there the first time.
Yep.
And I mean, I had that thing on repeat.
Yeah. I was playing it, definitely playing that too when I was DJing out. Girls loved it.
Yeah, but they didn't really catch on
No.
for like 2 or 3 years.
No.
Like when we were listening to it and like when the girls started liking it.
Yeah. There was a time.
There was a lag, right?
And who even knows if they really liked it or if they just because we kept playing it, they liked it.
No, because like I talked to this woman, and she played it like with her girlfriends at her wedding, like after like the adult time part of the dance night.
After grandma and the kids left.
And the kids left, and it was like, so I think it kind of caught on, and I don't know if people always get the deeper meaning of that song. I think it kind of the hook gets you.
Right.
But then over the years you're just like, dude, this is a deep song, man. He's saying something here.
Right.
I got the album early too, by the way.
Early?
Yeah, a day early. I was like, riding dirty up in here.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, Ed Heichel was working at the record store at the IDS, the Crystal Court, and he's like, hey.
Not early like Sarah though.
No, not early like Sarah, but I got it a couple days early, I think, and I because I think Tuesdays was the day it was supposed to come out, but they got the packages early. He's like, I'll get you a copy of that. I was like, heck yeah, I'll get a copy of that. And then we went to the NPG store after it was released because they did a big release party at midnight. Albums were released on Tuesdays, and they did a big release party, and they had a bag made up. You remember that bag?
I do remember that bag. I still have two of the items that
you got the contents. What was in the bag, DJ Dudley?
Well, I for sure have the Pussy Control T-shirt.
Oh, that wasn't in the bag though.
Oh, that wasn't in the bag.
No, you had to buy that separately.
Oh, I thought that was.
I bought that T-shirt.
Okay.
I don't know what the heck happened.
Is it
to
a
that
calling
t-shirt.
card?
Yeah, the calling card was in there.
I got the calling card.
Yeah, and then there was another T-shirt. It was the Gold Experience T-shirt.
Oh yes. Okay.
And then
my T-shirts confused.
Yeah. There was a Gold Experience T-shirt. I got the Gold Experience T-shirt. I look at it every day because it's like sitting in this like stack of records in this bin that I got.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I'm like, hey man, if anybody's interested in that T-shirt and wants to trade me for an awesome Gold Experience jacket, deal.
You might need to throw something else in.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm just saying. And then it came in like a gold bag, and you got the album, and they handed them out, and it was happening.
It was the T-shirt, the calling card, and the album.
Yeah, CD.
Calling card's weird.
Yeah, and then you could use it, right? You could scratch. Did you ever scratch off the back?
No, mine's still in the plastic case.
Yeah, mine's still in the plastic case too, in my parents' upstairs somewhere, I think. So I gotta find that. Anybody know what that's worth? Put a comment on the deal. What a calling card from the NPG store on the Gold Experience release is. I'd be real curious.
I wonder how many of those they did.
Dude, it wasn't that many. I mean, I think it was a relatively limited release.
Maybe 500.
500 or whatever. I mean, they still had bags the next day, but I guess they had lines around the corner when the album came out. So, I mean, things were happening in Minneapolis in the fall of 1995, and it was real fun to be a fan of, that unpronounceable symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because that was the other thing, right? Like, at that point, I was becoming like a zealot for Prince, but I wouldn't be like, hey, this is Prince. I'd be like, this is the symbol. This is the artist formerly known as. This is, because and then, like, trying to understand that and, like, explain it to people.
Yeah, it was always a weird thing. People, I mean, that was the thing. He got a lot of attention for it, but he got a lot of, like, weird attention.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
we've talked about that before. Like, what are you doing? That other people are like, we're making a ton of money with these record labels. What are you doing?
Yeah, and he's fighting, right? And he's looking at it through
fighting the good fight.
He's looking at it through a different lens, and I think he sees the injustices of it, and he's just gonna buckle down, right? He's just gonna he's not gonna
And he's
hunker down, not buckle down, hunker down. Like, he's just going to hunker down into his position.
Yep.
And he's so sure.
Yeah.
This is what's really interesting. He's so sure that he's right. He's like, damn the torpedoes, right? I don't care if the Simpsons are making fun of me. I don't care if, anybody's saying whatever. They can write what they want. They can say what they want. They can do what they want. But I am bad, and I know it, right? My stuff is good, and I don't want to be giving these royalties up to these people.
Yep.
They may have got me here, but it's a new journey, and I'm not going to spend the next however many years of my life playing for them. I'm going to play for me and do my thing. And it's a great time to be a Prince fan.
And I took my big check, and I built Paisley Park.
Yeah.
I have what these other artists don't have. I have the studio.
Yeah. Seriously, you look at that.
Sound stage. I've got the editing rooms.
Yeah.
I got everything.
Yeah, I got that. I've invested wisely, and I've put myself in a position to be able to do this. And there were some stories as to, the operation at Paisley really skinny and down at that point. And, it wasn't the same from a production perspective.
Yep.
And I think he did get a little skinnier. He knew, times were changing.
Rough waters are ahead.
Rough waters are ahead. But I think he knew it was worth it too, right?
Yeah.
And I think he sets a trajectory for artists in that music community. It's like, he's writing The Exodus Has Begun, right? This is the story, the biblical story of the Exodus is the people's movement from slavery to freedom, right? That's the biblical narrative of the Exodus. And he's essentially in 94 putting that album out saying this narrative is his personal movement from, being trapped with the label into this season of freedom, right?
Right.
And if you look at the narrative, like the biblical narrative, you see, oh man, there's some hard times ahead, right? We got to live out in the desert. It's not the easiest component, right? So he knows that there's a fight ahead of him. He knows folks ain't gonna fold early. He knows it's not gonna be easy. He knows he's gonna have to, take the onslaught of the torpedoes. And I think ultimately he knows he's gonna win too.
And is that the first album on MPG Records?
Yeah. And he's
so he starts his own record label.
New record label. And then he's also saying at that point, you got to be free so we can download it to, your fans' computers, right?
Yep.
That's like the first. No, this is not that record company, right? Because he's going from Paisley Park Records to MPG Records, and there's this transition where it's like, hey, this is a new era, a new time. We're going to release things via the web. And then he goes out and he what?
Starts his own, the MPG Music Club.
The MPG Music Club, and you're ordering stuff. Crystal Ball's getting ordered off the web. All these things actually come to fruition.
Yep.
And he's saying this stuff back in 94. So great time to be a Prince fan. We're going to keep digging into these stories. Hopefully you like them. Check us out on Facebook. We at Paisley Nights. Search that. You'll find us.
Our Twitter. Paisley_Nights.
You can find us on
all the major podcast platforms. We host on Podbean, and then we're on Spotify, iTunes or Apple Podcast, and Google Play. Just Google us. You'll find it.
Google us, yeah. And make sure you subscribe, to if you're whatever your listening choice is.
Yep.
Subscribe so you get the updates. We're going to be releasing more albums more frequently. We want to give a shout out to the people of Paisley Park. All the stories are up there as well. All the episodes. People of Paisley Park been great helping us promote this thing, because this is really stories of the people of Paisley Park, right?
Yeah.
So I think the alignment between this podcast and that website is great. So check out People of Paisley Park, like that Facebook page. Give us some ratings on all your stuff. 5-star comments, shares, all that's appreciated.
4's good too. 4's good if we're
Shoot,
not.
I don't want no 4s. No, you got to give us a 4. Give us a 4. Whatever. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So make it happen. We got some T-shirts that are going to be dropping. So we got the new logo that's been out. Shout out to Devious again. We talked about it in last time we talked, but shout out there. And we're just thankful to be doing this thing and telling these stories. We appreciate the encouragement. We appreciate the positive feedback. It keeps us motivated to do some more stuff coming, more interviews. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah. Sign us off.
All right, this is Paisley Nights. We are chronicling the days of wild. I am Mark Bonde
with DJ Dudley D.
We out. Peace and
be wild.